Guys, it's David. So, welcome to another episode of Right Politics. Today, I wanted to talk about Cuba because I recently made two trips and the communist regime is definitely shocking. It's something that I wanted to highlight because most college students that get to this ideology from universities that communism is the answer and it's the way to world peace and it's the way to equality and equity and all of those democratic and liberal values are dead wrong. And most of these professors have never left the country, let alone seen the true impacts of communism. So, one of the things I want to talk about when I first went to Cuba is that the currency is completely closed. It's what is called a closed currency. So what that means is it is not traded on the open market. So normal currencies get their value by other participants in the economy, especially other nations, placing bids on what they're willing to pay for that currency. That's why the British pound's a little higher than the US dollar, and then you can buy plenty of yen with the US dollar, is because everything's traded on the open market. With a closed economy, the money is basically like monopoly money. The government chooses the rate of which each foreign currency can be traded in with their currency at the airport. But because of the light of a lot of the trade embargoes that were put in by the Americans, the Cuban government has basically committed financial suicide by completely not accepting the US dollar in their country, period. The only way that it can be traded is on the street. So what that left me with when I visited the first time is that you go to the airport. I brought about $600 and I wasn't able to trade it with anyone. Not even the cabs would take it. The official currency trading posts at the airport were completely negligent into trading the US dollar. So if it wasn't for my girlfriend and us trading it basically on the street, I wouldn't have had money for the trip. And I feel like the economic suicide part of that is that they're trying to get these tourists to come in from all over the world, especially wealthy countries like America, and then they can't use their money. So the second trip, I got about €100 just for my initial descent into Cuba. But the change rate was so horrible, 25 Cuban pesos for one euro. And it was so bad that I would say out of the €100, I only got about $17 worth of the currency in Cuba that could have been traded on the street. So it's about 100 pesos for one US dollar. The government gives about 17 pesos for €1. And then, of course, there's the upcharge to the airport to trade US dollars into euros. But unless you do it like that, there's no way that you can actually trade in the country. There was one cab driver who tried to trade with me, and he immediately gave me about half of what he said he was going to. So I demanded my money back, and I just waited on my girlfriend the second time. The reason why I want to say that, there's another blocking where they do not allow you to take money outside of the country. So all currencies except the US dollar are welcome to come inside of Cuba and flow freely into Cuba, but they do not allow them to leave and exit. So you are not able to trade your Cuban pesos into your origin country's currency when you leave Cuba. You're basically trapped to hold on to the Cuban peso forever, or give it away to a poor person, or keep it for your next trip. But you cannot trade back into the other currency. And that's very alarming because I was thinking, hey, listen, if we buy this currency really cheap with the US dollar, we can exchange it back into euros and then take it to America and re-exchange it into US dollars and forex our money. But that is not possible. So it's completely closed. The government dictates the price, the trade, and once you're there, you're just completely stuck.